Man. Okay. So let me put my earpiece in. I can hear what I'm saying. Testing, testing. 2 1 2. Right. Okay. All right, guys. Back with another one. This is for the members only. As soon as this live goes down, I will be putting it for the members only. So you will have to be a part of the membership in order to receive this type of content. Eventually, I'm going to move it to the Patreon as well. Um, Today's conversation or session will be talking about the children and understanding, you know, what's going on within our children, right? Now, a person reached out to me and stated to me that their child was having difficulties in school, lashing out, having outbursts, the whole shebang that came along. And the individual stated to me that this occurred when they started going into a new school. Now, I gave the individual advice, and moving forward, you know, uh, the child was removed from the school and brought into a family like setting, and now the child is not presenting any situation. Now, as a person, not only as a father and a life coach, we have to come into an understanding that our children's cries, concerns, and experience is very important. See, when we was growing up, we was always told, you know what I'm saying, whatever teacher do, we gotta follow. We never had a say when something was bothering us. You had to just take it. Whatever your parents, your mother, your caregiver, whatever situation or school or position or anything that they put you in, you had to just take it. There was no room to complain. And a lot of times, because we didn't have that outlet to express and to tell our concerns, a lot of the children, and I can speak for myself, became very rebellious, right? And I want to let teachers know. I want to let the parents know, mothers and the fathers, and any other caregivers know that when your child is displaying a behavior that's unnormal, it's not for you to discipline them or yell at them or do anything. It's for you to find the root and the cause of the problem, because children do not know how to express themselves the way that we as adults know how to, because children are children. Their brains are not fully there yet. Some children are, but not everybody is there. And some children do not know how to do it properly. So, of course, they come out, crying, yelling, being disruptive, and all of that. Behaviors that you won't see at home, but is being told about in school, could be in church, could be anywhere outside of your presence. And there's those that does it in the presence of the household. Your job is to figure out what's going on, right? Today's children is not being loved. That's why I had to come on. Today's children is not being loved because we are not giving them that proper love, right? And a lot of it has nothing, it's not you guys' fault. We are living in prison, and when the warden needs you to come to work, you got to come to work. So I understand that. You understand? But we're not going to deny and act like our child is getting the proper love that they deserve, that they need in order to survive. Okay? Now, what I mean by children are not being loved. Children is not being loved because children are not being taught and raised by their mothers, their fathers, their grandmothers, their aunties, their uncles. They're not being raised by the core bloodline, their core essence, they're being given unto the hands of the institutions, whether it's school, daycare, work. You know what I'm saying? Child is no longer in our care, and that causes a psychological damage to a child long term. See, to the system is designed for them to be programmed, right? They're being instituted into waking up early, being on time, you know, following rules and regulations. This is just a cycle. This is prep for the real world when they have to wake up on time, be to work for 8 hours, listen, follow rules and regulations. This is the preparation for that, right? But in reality, a child is not getting the proper love because the love only comes from their biological parents and their intermediate family. But when the intermediate family's not around and the biological parents are working 8 hours, by the time that child and the parent has face to face interaction, it's already late. Child exhausted, parents exhausted. So it's do your homework, eat food, watch a little TV, go to bed. That becomes a cycle for a child, and the child never learns who they are, their heritage, their culture, etc., etc. Okay, especially now, especially with what's going on now, the high inflations, where you have to work, have to put in 8, 10, 12, 13, 14 hours, people doing double shifts just to make ends meet because things are so rough right now. You understand? Which is making it even harder for you to be there for your child and raise your child, right? Now, when these children are not being exposed to their parents and learning their parents' ways, lifestyle, culture, when they're not being taught by them, something else is teaching them. And those things are the most evilest things that can happen for a child, which is television and Europeanized school. Facts. Okay? Our children knows their ABCs, know about Abraham Lincoln, knows about George Washington, knows about what's that man, Con Edison, know about all of these things. But our children don't know not one thing. Couldn't be able to identify an African flag to the country, even if it was laid out in front of them. That's an issue, right? We got caregivers now highly upset about the fact that school systems is no longer teaching African history. They're upset behind that. And me personally, I think that's the best thing that ever happened. That's probably the best thing that happened to black people since segregation. I'm just telling you the truth. Why? Because your history cannot ever and will never be told accordingly by those that didn't never live that. It's not their history. You think me can tell you? You think me can teach Jewish people about Jewish history? How dare I? They'll look at me like, yo, man, how can you what justifies you to tell us this? You feel me? So that's the same thing when it comes to your history. It's your requirement, it's your job to teach your child, to educate your child, to show your child this, that, black this, black that, because it's not their job. The enemy will never teach you anything that could get you closer to your roots. Okay, they want your roots to be getting the loot. Okay, that's the root they want for you. Bring us the loot. Bring me the loot. Bring me the loot. Bring me the loot. I'm a bad boy. You know what I'm saying? So our children is not being loved accordingly, and the reason why, like I said, another reason why I had to speak on this because yesterday, especially with these institutions, right? These so-called charter schools, I'm seeing a high level of fisherman activity. I can't say it, so I'm just gonna call it what it is. A high level of fisherman activity. See a man with man, woman with woman. It's high. Like what the heck is going on? And these children is under 17. Like your curiosity is happening now, and I understand that. I experienced that. I had to go into the school and snap on these teachers, the principal. Oh, that joint scared the mess out of me. I had to go into the schools and snap on these teachers and like, no, no, you're not teaching my children such madness. Okay? Don't disrespect me. And a lot of our parents and caregivers are not doing that. you're not teaching your children and letting them know that such behavior is unaccepted. And when if you see it in school, you must say something. See something, say something. And if I'm the caregiver or your parent, your father, your mother, I'm telling you such behaviors like that presented in front of you, you remove yourself from such scenery. Okay? And my son received a lot of backlash. My child received a lot of backlash behind it. But my child also know that he has a supporting cast, right? That we're not doing that. And you're not gonna ostracize my child because he's doing the universal thing, the universal right thing to do. Right? So you understand, you definitely gotta be on point when it comes to stuff like that because they are teaching these children these things. Okay? And after seeing that, and they'll do it in a time when it's finished, they send them to lunch. So now they're in the lunchroom talking about it, and then it becomes curious. They're curious, okay? And especially with the high exposure of the sexualization of black people, they're gonna thinking that it is normal. It is not normal. So you have to address it while it happens, right? You have to have these conversations with your child from a very young age. Don't wait for them to reach a certain age to have these conversations. No, because the times that we living in is at an all-time high. Everything is super fast. Right? Children is catching periods at 7 years old. I'm talking about little girls. They're being exposed to sexual nonsense at a very young age. So you got to talk to them by the time they're 3. The minute they're able to talk, say yes, daddy, no, daddy, and say what's on their mind, you got to have this conversation, right? I don't play that. So when my children reach a certain age, they don't play that. I don't even allow teachers to even get too close to my children. But when my son was on the basketball team, we don't do no ass taps, none of that. Give me high five. Good job, bro. Yeah, give me an elbow. Give me a fist. That's it. And if I see that, like, yo, fam, don't touch my son like that. No disrespect. But we ain't moving like that. I don't even touch my son like that. You feel me? And it's because you got to check these things off the gate. You got to stand your ground off the gate. Our children is lacking love. We're not giving them the proper love because we are too overwhelmed or distracted by social media, by the work life, and all of that. But we gotta sacrifice something. Maybe a lot of you guys got to sacrifice pay. Maybe a lot of you guys need to be on government assistance, but don't let the government assistance overtake you. Just know that I'm doing this for the sake of my child so I can be home to my child. If you're getting support, take that support and use it in righteousness to better your child. Don't use it to exploit it. And then when they put rules and regulations in place, you are affected. Because when you are affected, he or she, your child, is affected. You understand? So you gotta be on top of certain things, right? Nothing is free in this world. But if they giving it to you, use it for your benefit, for your children's benefit. Don't neglect it. Don't take advantage of it. Do the right thing. Because your child's future is the ultimate thing. Like I tell black people, your freedom is the ultimate thing. There's no in betweens. There's no putting that on the side to focus on something else. That is priority. Everything else is secondary. That is priority. Freedom, black people, priority. Children, priority. Your work, everything else is secondary. Don't listen, oh, I need a job in order to take care of my child, please. No. You need a support. You need your support. You need to be present. You need to be available for your child. Let your child know that you are there no matter what the circumstances. You don't have an umbrella and it's raining. You are the umbrella for your child. That's how it goes. Period. No if, buts, maybes, or anything in between. That is how you go. You have to be there for your child. Your child is more important than gold, more important than your own life. Your child is more important. And we have to get into that understanding behind that. Our children are being under attack. They need unconditional love. They don't need a parent that's upset and throw them in front of a TV, or don't want to be bothered because they want to do a live or they want to do a TikTok dance. You do all that when they go to sleep. And if they're not sleeping for the rest of the day, then you got to figure it out to do it sometime within the week. You don't take away your child leaning on you for support, whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You don't reject them, because when you reject them, you're teaching that this behavior is acceptable, and when they get older and they have children, they're gonna pass that down, excuse me. Or when you get old and you need love and affection, they're gonna push you away because this is what you're teaching them. Each one teach one. You teach them to be evil, they will be evil to them, to their spouse, to their offspring, and also to you. Okay? So be there, be present, be active, be supportive. Give them that unconditional love. If you have a child, him or she is under 18, you should be working part-time. And while you're doing the part-time, you get some level of government assistance so you can remain part-time, so you can be in your child's life. And me personally, I believe that every child should just be homeschooled. And you take and then you do the job, or you work during the day. You understand? Allow your child to be with family members, trustworthy family members, because there's a lot of predators in and today's black family households. Cousins is touching little cousins, uncles, all of them. I'm hearing all of this story. I'm like, yo, what the heck is going on here? You understand? So find trustworthy family members to leave your child with. And you leave that child with that person when you go to work, right? And then when you come back, then you do the homeschooling, right? You do part-time, you come home, your child is fully energized. They're probably gonna sleep during the day, do something during the day, but you minimize your time. You minimize your time of work so you can give your full time, your real job to your child, because your child is the ultimate investment. And we're losing our child because we are investing our times to corporations and fulfilling other people's dreams than fulfilling your dream. And that dream was bringing forth an offspring that will continue your legacy. Just like my son got to continue my legacy, and my daughter's got to continue my legacy, and their mother's legacy, and all of that. We are here to continue such legacies so we live eternity forever, because we don't die. We quadruplify. You heard? So I just wanted to just give you guys a little rundown on that. You guys stay humble, stay committed, stay loyal to your children. Your child is your investment. Our children needs the love, they need the care, they need the support, they need the guidance, and last but not least, they need the wisdom, pure wisdom, African wisdom, not the Eurocentric, Euro Christian ideologies. That is a DUB. You know the DWI? That is a DUB. Okay? All right? Okay. So, with that being said, people, I didn't want to make this too long. I just wanted to just keep this brief and simple, give you guys something to just pay attention to, understand what's going on. Okay? Please. This is for the longevity of our existence. Okay? It's a full-fledged attack on our children. We need to realize what's happening to our children. We need to realize that these people are gonna continue doing their nonsense to our children, because we, the chains, the division, the separation that we had between them and us, it's been broken. They're all in your space now. They're all in your face now. They're all in your lifestyle. You have given up your identity to accept their ideologies. You have forgotten who you are. They see that. They're capitalizing off it. They're giving you these religions to call on these gods to give them more power than they ever had. And we're the reason for it. Okay? So don't blame nobody, people. You got to hold yourself accountable. You got to protect your children. You got to teach your children right from wrong. And right now, what's wrong is the Euro Christian ideology. Have to tell them that. Teach them that. Teach them their African culture. Take them to all black African spiritual event. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's Pan African. Listen, man. Even take them to certain parts of Labor Day. Though I'm not talking about the parade. I'm talking about the places where it's black liberation. They got places here in Brooklyn on Tompkins Avenues where black people come out and they showcase black talents and black history and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Things that's never told in school. Bring your child to those such into these type of events so they can get that, so they can feel that, so they can feel the drums and they can feel the bongos and all of that, and they can let that joint feed their soul. Okay, and interact and see how wonderful we can be when we come together. No violence, no drill music, no rap music, no crack music, no strap music, no whack music, just pure black music. You're and it's going to be a wonderful thing, and you're going to see the change not only within yourself but within that child. You're going to see the frequency on high. You're going to see that they're going to be the ones that want to help the community. They're going to be the ones that want to participate in these politics. But as long as you keep them on that right path, they're going to want to join that to make change. And that's what we need. We need change. We need change, and we need everything to be rearranged, right? We need to control our campaign. And our campaign will always remain the same. And like I said before, the only thing that's a priority for every black person is freedom. The only priority for every black person is being a parent, a father, and a mother to a child. Everything else is secondary. Okay? So that's my email. That's the website. Holla at me. Be outside. Remember, this is for memberships only. You got a chance to tune in and grab this, I'm happy for you. If not, $1 mela. Wadida $1 mela. But on a serious note, man, I hope you guys have a good Friday. Enjoy the rest of this, man. Go outside, go do something, open your mind, read a book. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the hook. Always take a look. Take a look within yourself. And you're greater than anything that these people have ever told you. And if I said this once, I say it again. I am him, Junes, MBIC. Holla at y'all.